All right, here we are. I guess I'm hosting. Got the Lions of Liberty, the Punk Rock Libertarians, for the first time ever combined. I don't know, shit show,
whatever the fuck this
conversation,
is.
whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
And we made you host. Why did we do that? This is already off to a horrible start.
Oh, it could be
So
worse.
Brian actually wants to talk about Sesame Street. So go ahead.
I do. Well, so basically, I mentioned before we started the show, I'm sick. I'm still drinking, though. I made myself a delicious martini, jalapeno garlic stuffed olives, which I removed and put blue cheese in. But the olives are saturated with it. Oh, you guys are idiots. You don't like martinis?
No, it sounds great.
What's wrong with you?
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
Delicious.
I like martinis, but a garlic in it? No.
Yeah.
Well, it's a garlic jalapeno stuffed olive, and then I removed that and put blue cheese in it, but it still has the remnants of the jalapeno and garlic. Delicious. Anyway, so I'm sick because my daughter is just oozing snot out of her head. She's like 1. So I'm home. She's home from daycare. Put on Sesame Street, right? Because we're like, oh, kids love Sesame Street. She's too young to really get it yet, but we put it on. And this is like the original, like the OG, before Fozzie Bear even had a fucking hat on his head, right? So back in like the 1970s, whenever the first season we're watching. And sure as shit, there is a diverse cast. There's old black guy. There's Hispanic Muppet. There's, everything. There's Native American Mexican old man. There's like everything you could want diversity-wise is in there, right?
Of course.
From the get-go. Yeah. And I'm watching, and they're doing whole segments on Muppet's like, Rosita, how's you liking Sesame Street? She's like, oh, I love it. I'm going to have some rice and beans. Let me tell you about it. Right? They're really driving home the diversity.
Yeah.
And I'm watching.
Very racist accents, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hey, man, don't blame me. Blame the Muppets. And Muppets are not a color. They're a fur. Don't forget.
Indeed.
So I'm watching, though, and I don't know. It's fine. I'm down with whatever. Mix it in. Tell kids about different shit as long as it's not uber wokeness canceling Mr. Potato Head. I don't care. But what I couldn't help noticing is this is from now 50 years ago. 50 years ago.
Holy shit.
All the diversity shit is in there, right? From the get-go. So for 50 years, we've been teaching kids this. 50 years of integrating. I'm not getting anybody canceled, Justin. 50 years of integrating all this messaging. 50 years of happily getting along. 50 years of children being told, accept other cultures, accept other races, we're all the same. And yet we're supposed to believe that this has had no effect, and we're still living in a racist, bigoted, psychotic Nazi civilization. It is fucking idiotic, and it just pissed me off so badly watching that today, thinking about this. 50 fucking years, and they're still preaching the same bullshit.
Well, Brian, that's because you are a racist, and that's your white privilege.
Yes.
Your white privilege is showing, sir.
Well, here's my point, though. If we've been doing it for 50 years and it's had no impact, when's it ever going to work? How long is it going to take? Is it like evolution? Do we have to have fish learn to fly before racism's eliminated in our time? That's stupid.
Well, maybe it has worked and they're just pretending that it hasn't.
Well, I think that's probably hitting the nail on the head, man. The power dynamics involved, The Democrats have to keep some sort of power lever.
Right.
You guys don't have kids, right? That you know about?
Phil does. Phil, what are you? Are you on the podcast, dude? Where are you at?
I'm here. I'm right here. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
No, it's very dark.
Wave your arms. We can barely see you.
Were you masturbating before you came on the podcast? Because it's very sultry and seductive in the room you're podcasting in. There's no light on your face. We can't see what you're doing with your hands.
No, there's no sexual activity in that bedroom.
I was gonna say, I was doing it before, but I'm still doing it. So it's,
before and during,
and
after probably.
It's like a Mitch Hedberg joke. I'm still. Yeah, can you guys see me? All right, it's really dim in here. I got this one dinky little light. It's
the dim age.
You don't want to see.
It's sensual.
It's a lot of face. It's a lot of I hide behind the mic and the dim lights, and I don't have my sunglasses on. I usually have sunglasses on, so I decided to go shade free tonight.
Wow. Well, we can see your beautiful something eyes. I don't know. Asian?
Asian? Yeah, are you Asian, Phil?
Yep.
Let's play Guess Phil's Race.
Are you a Chinaman, as they say in Dr. Seuss?
I know. Oh, yeah. You can't say the D word around here.
The doctor? Are you a Scientologist, or do you not believe in a Christian Scientist? No doctors of any stripe
allowed, man.
Yeah, the de-Seussing of America is depressing, man.
De-Seussing.
I mean, I get it. You know, it's like I get partially. I get that there's like, you know, I guess I've never read the books that they're actually canceling. The zoo one, I guess there were like, you know, black Aborigine kind of looking guys in it.
First of all, no one that reads any Dr. Seuss books knows what the heck is going on. I mean, it's just crazy characters rambling about nonsense.
That's not true. Odie's reading level, Odie's reading comprehension. By the way, Odie, you know, I like the unintentional plug for our other podcast where we review reality television, Bravo and Beer, because we were streaming with Bravo and Beer in the top right.
I was wondering what that was.
That's what I was like. Well, I've got beer, so.
People should check it out, though. It's a fucking awesomely hilarious podcast.
I will take that down.
Yeah, I just noticed it. I was like, oh, Bravo and Beer.
I was gonna say, I've never heard of Bravo Beer, and I was like, is that a new sponsor you guys have? Or
we're working on it, man. We're working on it.
If you guys send me your logo, I'll put it up for the second half. We'll split it. We'll be
Phil's working on getting Bentbox for a sponsor right now.
I got the big middle finger from Bentbox. They were just like, fuck you.
So wait, what is Bentbox? Is this like a porno?
Yeah, it's like,
what is it?
It's not like it's a porn website that essentially you buy a box and like these like people fill up this box with pictures and videos, and you buy the box for like $5.
Oh,
like
what? Why? We have the internet. Why would anybody want to do that?
It's like an OnlyFans. It's like an OnlyFans.
Oh, so it's all digital. It's not like a box of like old porn magazines.
Thank you, Jared. That's what I was thinking.
That's actually not a bad business idea, Jared.
Gotta unload that old closet, man.
So kids can go and build forts in the woods with them and hide Playboys, like moldy Playboys under the planks.
Right, exactly.
Dude, yeah, no. So they just run this website called Bentbox, and I saw this as like advertised. I just got this random email that says we're looking for influencers, and I was like, oh, hey, a Punk Rock Libertarians podcast, and they're just like, okay, thanks. And after I sent them like our downloads and everything else, then I didn't hear anything from them, so I literally sent them a question. Said, any updates? And they were like, we're thinking about going in a different direction, and I'm just all right, whatever.
We were too racy for the porn site,
I guess.
My guess is that when they're talking about influencers, there we go, a little bit broader spectrum.
Oh, I got more Brian. All right.
Taxation is death. Show it off.
I like it.
I see more of those awful sports teams in the background, but that's fine.
Great sports teams, man. No. I'm going reverse.
This is
Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Electric Liberty Land, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Hey, we're enjoying your Harper. We're enjoying
Phil.
your
You have Phil in your name, as in Philadelphia. So really, can you?
Filthy, yeah, exactly, man. Filthy,
that was my old name. Yeah, that was my.
Tell them what
name.
your license plate number is.
Oh, my license plate is Hate Philly.
No shit. That's awesome, man. I appreciate good hatred.
Now go Doc Phil.
Right, yeah, go for it. I don't care. Whatever. I'm a big DC sports fan. I kind of grew up like right around DC, and so everything DC sports. We're into the sports ball. So
yeah. I know. Well, so are we. That's what we do. Our degenerate gamblers for our Patreon behind the wall, where Rico's a Cleveland fan, Odie's Pittsburgh, I'm Philly. So, you know, those two have a lot more rivalries going on. But, you know, Odie and I can vie over the Pens and the Flyers, who the Flyers lost last night, even though Sidney Crosby was out with fucking COVID AIDS, which I hope he dies of diabetes. Does Crosby have diabetes or any comorbidities that might take him out? Because I fucking hate that guy.
Do you remember when he had mumps? Do you remember that picture from a few years ago? He had mumps and his whole face was like fatter than mine. It was just hilarious.
Wait, like Meg from Family Guy? Like
yes.
Well, mumps mumps went through the NHL. It was like a mini whatever you call it, not epidemic,
a mini pandemic,
NHL-demic. Yeah,
they should have worn masks.
Do you see my dog back here?
It would have saved him if they just wore masks. They would have.
If only they had masks.
Fat piece of shit back here.
Oh,
nice. The Doge.
Dogecoin. Yeah. By the way, I got to a quick funny story. Is my my wife, her old roommate. I actually have a funny couple stories about my wife and her old roommate, who was
Before we talk about
banging
your
hot.
wife and her old roommate, what's everybody drinking? Let's get that out of the way.
Oh,
I know we talked about it off before.
Well,
the
you
show.
know me, dirty martini, absolute dirty martinis.
Nice. I've got a 60-minute IPA. Dogfish Head.
Nice. An IPA lover. Brian and Mark hate IPAs because they're terrible people.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, it's
You guys, it's a weird take, man.
Oh, it's a weird take to not like the taste of asparagus urine in your mouth. I don't see how that's an odd take because that's what every IPA tastes
Dude,
like.
what's wrong with
It's like-
asparagus?
It's like it's literally well, I mean nothing if you like the smell of your own urine, but it's literally like somebody ate asparagus and then pissed in your mouth, and then a pine tree, like a monster pine tree, like out of an old Japanese horror movie, came and started face fucking you. They're disgusting, and I hate them.
That's very
I
good.
hesitate
now I
to
like
post
it.
this
Now I
because
like them
Brian's
more.
ego is already too big. But you know. I'll put it up
Thank
there.
you, Sam. Samuel,
got a
has
face
anyone
for
ever
video.
told Brian he does? I have a beautiful face. I just don't have the hair to match. Is the problem? If I had hair, get out of here. They call me David Beckham too, McWilliams Boogaloo.
But no, so I'm drinking IPA. I it's weird. I was drinking. I had a little bit of Woodford
Oh,
Reserve.
you're not drinking the seltzer this time.
Well, no,
Hey,
hold
Woodford
on.
Reserve.
I'm drinking
very nice.
multiple things right now. So I just,
wow.
so I had the Woodford Reserve before I started this, and then I found a bunch of my wife's White Claws. So I just started going through those, and then I found, as I was going through that, I found one of my Loose Cannon IPAs.
See, Phil and I would get along. That's exactly something I would do. Yeah, that's-
You
So
guys
I'm
are just
drinking that
drinking
out.
hangovers. You're just drinking a hangover at that point, mixing whiskey, White Claw, and IPA. That is horrible.
Yeah, that's not a
The
good
lo-
Thursday night choice, dude.
Put them in a big jug.
The Lord did not bless me with a lot of things, but He blessed me with never getting a hangover. I never get hangovers.
I
No matter how
don't
much I
fucking
drink.
believe that shit for
Yeah,
a
at least
I
get a
don't
little-
either. I'll
Do you
get a
at least get a
hangover
little tired, Phil?
for maybe
Nope.
the first 15, 20 minutes when I wake up. Then it just goes away. I feel fine.
Really?
That's awesome.
Odie,
I'm just like tired.
Odie, hold on. I call bullshit on that.
No.
Odie came out when we were in Cleveland visiting. So, Rico, I flew out to Cleveland to go to the Eagles-Browns game, which was miserable, rained the entire time, almost froze
Sounds
to death.
awful.
I think I got COVID on the way back. But
That-
before that, Odie drives out, gets hammered. He says he's hungover in the car ride over. Then we're playing beer pong. I whoop his ass. Odie gets so drunk that he's puking and locks himself in the bathroom and falls asleep in there. So we don't know if he's dead or alive for hours. He was in there for at least 2 hours.
Neither do I. I don't know what happened.
And then you're telling me you weren't hungover the next day because I call bullshit.
I was hurting it. I mean, that was like a different level of drinking. I'm not like in prime drinking shape where, I mean, I went out to the bar. I was drinking like 12% freaking IPAs or Christmas ales, whatever it was. That was just a mess. That was a disaster.
That's true. That was messy. One of our Patreon supporters, Anthony Meyer came out. Great dude, trucker, but he was out there. So we're drinking, and he's not drinking. He's just watching us get drunk, drinking, Belgians and Christmas ales that are 12%, and then the odor. I don't know. We're going off a tangent, side tangents here, but Mark's still not here, so fuck him.
Our podcast is nothing but tangents. So just
Yeah,
go.
I mean, we should just
that's
call
the
it
best
Punk
kind.
Rock
Speak
Tangents
of the
podcast.
devil,
Oh, there's Mark. Finally,
Oh, Mark.
the green man himself.
Mark, your background looks great.
This is what you get, guys. This is what you get.
This is Mark. This is Mark posing in front of Hulk's dick. You can see how giant it is.
And you wonder why you're not doing stand-up anymore.
I don't.
Why? Because
Why he's
too
not-
edgy, too good. That's what I'm
He
saying.
got canceled, man.
This
Yeah.
better be the best show of my life.
I
Jared
actually
Otto,
took
nice to
down
meet
my.
Oh, it's nice to
Yeah,
meet you,
nice-
Mark.
nice to
Finally.
meet you, man.
We just been talking like old friends. We didn't even
We
bother.
didn't even
with,
introduce each other. We just
No,
didn't.
we really
just-
didn't.
we just-
That's why you need a host like me, despite the fucking green screen behind me and the
we
disaster
jumped
of trying
into
to get on this show.
It's
I
a
was
great
actually here on
opportunity.
time. It took me 20 minutes to get to this point.
Well,
Damn.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Be better. Be
StreamYard.
better. To start calling you Rico Jr.
We've been enjoying it. We've having a good time. Don't worry. It's all good.
I don't believe you.
No, it's been very fun.
miserable.
No, I was going to say, I
are we
used to have
doing a
my
show?
stand-up
Is
comedy.
this happening?
This is the show. It's great.
We're
We're
doing it live.
live right now. Thousands of
You missed
people are
me.
watching.
You missed me talking about Sesame Street earlier and how we've been doing 50 years of
Did you
diversity.
tell the Big
and
Bird
doesn't seem to
story?
be- No, I should tell it. I
Ah,
guess.
shit. What have I done?
We've already.
Well-
Brian's already told enough stories, I think. So.
I agree. Other people tell stories. Some other day, Otto and Jared, I'll tell my story of when I used to work at Sesame Place, and I was Big Bird for a day, and it ended very badly.
We should do that for a Patreon-only bonus show.
All of our
I'm
Patreons,
intrigued
all of our
now.
patrons have already heard the story. They don't want it.
Yeah.
They did it for their Patreon. Or patrons, Patreons.
Patreonians.
Patronians.
Patronese.
So, Mark, what are you drinking?
Oh, we're supposed to drink? Just kidding. I'm drinking. Don't worry. Let's see. What am I drinking?
I'm getting a cider.
This Mulholland Distillery American whiskey that I got for my 40th birthday that I still have. 41st.
Nice.
Yeah, in the old days, this would have lasted about a week. So
A
things have
week.
changed.
Try a night. The old days.
Hey,
one Porkfest podcast.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's more
What
economical
about
when I can get drunk off one glass of whiskey essentially now.
I've drank through that. Our Bravo and Beer is the shirt of that. Well, are you guys going to? Do you guys go to any events? Have you gone to like Porkfest before, or Childerberg, or Freedom Fest, or that shit?
I was disappointed. I missed you guys all at the Libertarian National Convention this year. It was my first one going, and
Oh,
shit.
it was a
why
really good
would you-
time.
See, we were gonna go, and we were like,
I know.
It's just,
Then we
it's
heard
like-
you guys
it's
were going, and
so
we're like, nah,
shitty.
too much machismo for one place.
I had such a good time. It was great. I've never been around that many libertarians at one time, and
It's weird.
eventually I drank myself completely stupid and got naked into a pool. So at a house party.
Well, there
it was-
you go.
it was-
Yeah, be happy you weren't there.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I was
how
like,
many
where- I was jumping in the
libertarians
pool.
died immediately after that from COVID? Like half,
all of them.
something like that? Yeah.
I think that's why Joe Jorgensen didn't get any votes because they all died after the convention. We're the only ones that survived.
Phil was the only vote.
Dude, no. So they actually, the only people who got COVID that were part of the convention
Forgot how to
were
drink.
they were two people that were doing it remotely. No one. They were the only two people who
The
got
irony.
COVID. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
That's
priceless,
funny.
and no one was wearing
one
a
of
mask.
Dave Smith's one of Dave Smith's debate opponents, I believe, was one of them. Or maybe
I was
he got
going
it
to say,
later.
were they both taking place from Andrew Cuomo's elderly homes? They're like,
It's amazing how many people still believe the same exact shit about COVID that you heard a year ago that is completely untrue, completely debunked. Like I had conversations with people at work today, half of which was reasonable. Then it went to the same old, well, you can get people sick if you don't have symptoms, if you don't know you have it. It's like, no, that's not true. You made that up. That was made up. It's always been made up, never been true.
Yep.
And you're just repeating it because you're a drone.
Yep.
That didn't win me any
Right.
points. I didn't say any of that. That was the part in my head. I just went
The entire
You just nodded. Yeah.
You just smiled
the
at them.
entire
smirked, and-
asymptomatic
I went,
transmission
you're
thing.
cute.
I remember
That's
Jeff
where you
Dice.
just-
We had Jeff Dice on our show back that this was around in April. It was last year. We just
How did you
Punk
trick
Rock
him into that?
Libertarians. Well, Punk Rock Libertarians has always been an in-person podcast. Since Jared started doing it in 2015, we're up to what 340 some episodes, I guess, at this point. And
Yeah, 340 was the last one.
yeah. And so this was it was new experience for us because it was everyone just locally coming. If you were in the vicinity of Baltimore, you could just come in to our guy Matt's basement and just
So
do the
very
podcast
sporadic.
with us.
Nobody wants to go to that shithole. Just skipping over it.
Right.
People
You just had
intentionally
to-
going to different connecting
So
airports.
drug
had to pay
addicts and
people at least
strippers
$1,000.
mostly.
No, we had some actually Matt was he's kind of like the founder of the podcast. He in the whole group and the whole Punk Rock Libertarians idea, he just recently had to step away from the podcast, but him and Jared have been doing it since 2015. I kind of jumped on in 2017 and been a regular, and kind of when Matt stepped away, he asked me to book people and host the show with Jared.
I remember seeing you guys like on Facebook like years even before you had the podcast. Just that's where I
2009.
remember-
Yeah.
2009 was when the
Yeah.
first group was made. Because back then, yeah, you had groups. You didn't have pages yet.
Yeah.
Then we had to make a page once it kind of shifted over to that, and now we've got a page and a group. The original page got banned. I think we had 150,000 fans at that time.
God.
181,000 likes.
It was 181. Yeah.
I can't believe how many AI. I know you guys have a massive reach on, I think, Instagram and also Facebook. Fucking crazy.
Yep.
It's awesome.
It was after, I think it was after 2018 after like Free Thought Project, when all those websites in 2018 got taken down, that's when the Daily Liberator, which we also did, and Punk Rock Libertarians, the original page, got taken down, and we kind of got caught up in all that, and that was the first time we experienced everything that just kind of happened.
It was right after Zuck went before Congress for the first time.
Is that the
immediately
time
after that
he tried to drink water for the first time?
Yeah, he tried to like sit on a chair. Yeah, that was the time. Yeah.
It was his first time having to drink water through a human skin. His lizard body, he knows how to do it. But yeah, so my original point is, sorry, I was just saying the original point with this is, so we started, once COVID started, we just started doing it remotely. And then we're just kind of that opened up a whole new avenue of hosts and guests and stuff people to have on. Did we just lose Marc? Did we lose Marc?
Thank God. Show's good. Now we can get back to good topics. Well, now I feel like I have to. Both of these guys have their fancy ass goddamn names in here. Fine. Brian
Rotten. But it's like Johnny Rotten.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know.
I love it.
Actually, I'm going to put Lions. I'll put Electric Liberty Land. Electric.
There you go.
Land.
Phil's got like both of his Twitter handles in his thing.
I don't know. I gotta whore myself out. I'm not good at this. All right, I'm not good. I just
No,
figured
you're
I'll
better
just
at
throw
that
my
than we are. This is why you guys have the big following, because you actually think about these things. I'm in PR, I should, but I'm like, I don't want to be that fucking dickhead. You two are that dickhead. You're a grand dickhead.
I'm wearing the goddamn shirt.
Should we let Marc back in?
Well, so am I. I don't know. I kind of think it'd be funnier to wait him. You should have kept him out for a good 5 minutes.
It would not be a punishment. I have a whiskey here. I'm fine to drink alone. Like, you're missing out if you don't let me back in.
Your internet connection.
He'll drink with the Green Hulk dick behind him.
Yep. Can you drink, Marc? Can you drink out of the Green Hulk dick? That's the question.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
But yeah, so our podcast we've just been doing ever since then, a weekly, and I think when COVID happened, it kind of just opened up all these avenues or new people to come in, because I'm pretty sure Odie, I sent you a few messages before. It's like, hey man, if you're ever in Baltimore, because I think you had mentioned you have some type of connection to some people, and
my brother lives, I think, not far from you guys at all. So eventually, maybe I will be in the dungy basement. We'll see.
Well, yeah. Well, now there's really we just do this online now, but
you're never going back. You're just going to stay virtual.
I know, probably.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I want to hang out in the basement.
Maybe
we should start podcasting in Brian's basement.
I wish I had a basement. I actually have a plan to redo part of my garage to make it into like a man cave, / studio, because I would like a physical space that would be good. I just put that up a minute ago. Funny. Does Marc use Optimum
I
Internet?
misread it. I thought it said something about his hair. Sorry about that.
I don't know what that means.
No. Optimum Internet Conditioner. No, it's Robbie the Fire Bernstein had that battle with Optimum that he could talk about.
Yeah.
No, I want to have a man cave / studio where I want to set it up, get it like sound infused, or not infused with sound, but sound diffused, sound diffusion technology.
Yeah. Sounded right. Just go with it.
It sounds fancy.
Yeah, don't back down. Yeah. Just roll with it.
So anyway, I said rectum damn near killed him. But I want that because I want to have it in studio. And honestly, it's one of those funny things, like doing the show we did, like the roundtable show. Somebody was like, commented on the live feed with me, because I was right above Dave Rubin in the boxes you could see. And you're looking at me, and I had our Lions of Liberty background. But, it's like zoomed in. The lighting's not as good. It's like one shitty ring light and half, whatever. And it's just like, I get it. Dave looks better. But he's in like a professional studio setup. Like the guy spent $100,000 on this shit. It would be nice to have somewhere that looked a little nicer. And I know I'm preaching to the choir as Jared looks like he's in, a motel room with blackout curtains behind him so the hookers can't see if it's daylight or night.
This is my office, bro.
Well, I'm in my office, but it doesn't look like a hooker killing den. And then also Otto is just in the dark.
I don't know.
I'm in the dark.
That's true.
I'm in my dark room. It's fine. It's fine.
Odie makes a good point, though. Anything's a hooker killing den if you make it. You got to dream big.
If you try hard enough, anything you can make your dreams come true.
Marc has the green screen behind him because he was just on. Well, not because, but he was just on Ben Stein, and he had nice bookshelves behind him. Exactly the same as.
I don't know why I took the bookshelves down so quickly for this green screen.
He kept them up.
Yeah. What did you put the bookshelves up just to try to impress Ben Stein?
No, I just didn't want to have. I just didn't feel like having the Lions of Liberty background.
Why would you want to have the Lions of Liberty background up when you go on a show like Ben Stein? Why would you want to grow our brand?
By the way, to be perfectly frank here, we are my appearance on Ben Stein helps Ben Stein more than the other way around.
At this point, I would agree with you.
I know his numbers, and it's true.
It didn't look like a high-tech operation.
Yeah, but did you win his money though?
Working on it. I did make several jokes relating to that on the episode. My episode with Ben Stein is going to air this coming Monday. I can't wait. I know it's going to happen at some point. I'm going to go. Well, I'm not going to have a drink with him because he doesn't drink. So actually, but I'm sure I'll meet him at some point.
How old is Ben Stein?
76.
Damn! Wow.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if instead of winning Ben Stein's money, he's just like, "So, Marc, thank you for coming on the show. Have you ever thought about buying into a condominium? You can own them with several other people in fantastic locations."
Has he done condo commercials? Is that referencing something?
No, I don't think it'd be funny if he didn't have any money anymore and he's just trying to sell you into condo.
He's selling you timeshares.
Yeah, exactly. He's a timeshare.
Like dinosaurs weren't real. Here's a timeshare.
I like to talk to you about gut health, actually. Gut health.
So you're saying I shouldn't have bought a condo off Ben Stein? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying he might be the best person to buy a condo off of.
BuyBenSteinsCondos.com.
At John Odermatt. I'm the only one promoting our show. Well, we got the Lions of Liberty podcast in the upper right corner.
I tried.
Right here. Well, I can't see.
Yeah.
It was seven steps from hell to get on this podcast. I had to change computers because I lost the adapter for the new MacBook, and then this computer can't have Chrome on it, and then I had to download a new browser which doesn't support green screens. Jesus. But I'm
the thing with Marc is this is the first time he's ever had technical difficulties. Normally,
hold on. It's funny that Jared asked where I got this shirt from. Taxation is death with little money bombs.
That's embarrassing.
Money. You can buy it at lionsofliberty.store. This is actually our t-shirt.
Nice. Use discount code Punk Rock Libertarians for 0% off your order.
I gotta put that.
But you can join. You can join our Patreon for an actual discount.
You put in the code and it just crashes our fucking website. Like,
it just deletes your hard drive.
It immediately, the government immediately, just like they deleted your fucking website, they're just like, no, delete it all. Yeah, no, we have this shirt. We have some good shirts. We're trying to grow the shirts because it's like shirts. One of those things we used to have shirts that like Odie's wearing, which is like Lions of Liberty big. But people are like, I don't want to be seen in that stupid ass crap.
So good amount of those.
Dude, people love our shirts, man.
The beer logos are most popular from the older designs.
The problem with that shirt is, though, we're definitely going to get sued for it. But whatever.
Why?
That'll be good publicity for us. Good publicity.
Yeah, I would bring it on. John Cena kind of got sued for it for doing something similar.
John Cena has a little bit more money to pay for lawyers than we do.
You don't think he'll back us up? He'll be like, "Hey, come on, hop on. Here's my lawyers, guys. I did this already." Actually, I think he stopped carrying the shirt, so never mind.
But I mean, it's kind of like Punk Rock Libertarians. It's like we were talking about internally a little bit, and also Matt had not Matt. Marc had, I'm forgetting my own co-host names. Marc had,
it's our
he's talking to Chris Spangle, talking to Thaddeus Russell. Oh, no, I know. Did you guys hear that? Gene Epstein. Fuck you, Gene Epstein, if you're listening. Gene Epstein was on the show, and he's like, I was listening to one of your alternate hosts.
Sounds good at your Ben Stein impression.
I think it's Brian. I was like,
it sounds like you're doing an impression of my mom.
I've done 200 episodes. 200 episodes plus. Like, what do you? It's
300 less than the main.
That's all right.
Well, that's like when Tom Woods was on episode 500. He's like, Marc, I don't know how you do it. You have an episode on Monday and a Wednesday and Friday. How do you keep it all straight?
I'm like, just pure grit, Tom. Pure grit.
And we said, keeping it straight, Tom.
He's like, by the way, who are these two assholes?
I know exactly.
Oh man.
Shit.
Hey,
anyway,
if Tom Woods needs to think that I am everything behind Lions of Liberty, I think we just need to allow it. It's better.
Yeah,
That was a good episode, man. I really enjoyed that.
I did too. I'm not joking. I do not remember anything after Tom Woods.
Oh my god,
out.
your voice slurring was just the funniest thing. It was so relatable
to me too when I got to hear it.
That's Phil like every podcast.
That's me. That's what I said. I strive to be like you every podcast I do. And so we always do. We record our after hours podcast right after the main one. So I am just good and fucking drunk and hammered, telling all these inappropriate stories I probably shouldn't be telling.
That's how you're the Howie.
Like the one we started this podcast with by accident. I mean, talking about my Baltimore experience.
Yeah.
Oh, you told that one?
Well, I didn't think we were live. I think it. But then some guy commented. He's like, first, and I'm like, how much did you hear? Like, I have to hire a guy to come kill you? I got to kill a guy? I got to choke a guy?
Almost as good as the time you told Eric July that one story and you could feel the discomfort.
Oh my God! Should I tell that story right now?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I think you should just promote the Eric July episode and tell people to go listen to it.
Well, obviously, go back. I need to have Eric
is it?
July back on. I'll have him back on.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if I had Eric July back on and I told the same story again? Look,
How
I'll
long
tell you
ago
guys
was
the
that?
story.
Do it on video
It's gotta
so I
be.
can see his discomfort as well.
It's got it. I think it was like episode 50. It's got to be 2 years ago.
It was
So
I was
pretty
gonna say
early on,
way long ago.
way long ago. I'll tell you the story, and I will have Eric July on, and I will tell it again just to see what he does. So basically, here's the story: is we were we're on.
I didn't
we know
mean
each
for this
other
to
from
happen.
college. It's so funny though. So we were on college together at Penn State, and there was the Lions, Nittany Lions. That's where it comes from. So there was this bar called the Dark Horse Bar, and it had this alleyway that goes back and right and then back again. It's the most bizarrely designed little and it's not like an alleyway that comes out anywhere. It's between a bunch of buildings. Like it just kind of worked out as they built around it. So there's this alleyway which is perfect for pissing or puking or things that will come up later. So
Blowjobs.
well, let's not
Don't get ahead of yourself, Phil.
Yeah, exactly, man. Don't
Get ahead of yourself.
Phil's with me. So well, I'm drinking heavy. Our buddy Sam is in town, and this Dark Horse Bar, these pint glasses that were like hard, just all straight liquor. So we're pounding these things. They're like $5. It's college
Tonto's. They're
town.
called Tonto's Demise.
Tano's Demise, yes.
I vaguely remembered blacking out.
Pounding them. And Lynchburg Lemonade. So we're pounding them, right? And at some point, I get up, and I'm like, knowing my body, I get up, and I'm like, oh, I got to puke. I'm going to go puke. I'll come back. Because I was young, and I could do that.
Puke
So
and
I get
rally.
up.
Yeah.
Puke and rally. And at the time, I was smoking menthols because I was a young black boy at the time, just like in in Steve Martin's famed
Menthol.
film, The Jerk. So
How has
I
that
go
not been
outside-
canceled yet? Or has it? Has the jerk been canceled?
I'm sure it
Please
has.
don't cancel the jerk. I love that.
Can we
I'm
cancel
sure it's got
menthols, though?
I'm sure it's got a warning ahead of it.
This is why I was going for years. I've been going like getting rid of DVDs and getting stuff on digital, but now I'm like, maybe I need to go get the DVDs because they're going to
Yeah,
Copies
seriously,
only. Hard copies.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hard copy.
buy some backup like DVD players, stuff like that.
VHS.
I gave away my copies of the original Star Wars trilogy. I gave them to fucking Damon, who's disappeared off the face of the earth.
Well, never gonna
I
see those
gave them
again.
away to him, figure I could buy them. Oh, no, gone off the face of the universe. Apparently, you can't find them. Anyway, so
You yelled so much your screen blacked out for a second.
So anyway, I go outside to do a puke, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll smoke a cigarette. That'll help me. So I light up a menthol, and I'm smoking, and this tiny black dude, he's got to be 5'3", comes up with like an afro, little Webster guy with an afro. And he's like, yo, man, can I bum a cigarette? I'm like, yeah, sure, here you go. So we're smoking, we're talking. He's from Cleveland, like somebody in the comments was from Cleveland. So we're talking. Great. I'm like, all right, cool, Webster. I got to peace out. I got to go vomit. And I tell him explicitly I have to go vomit. So I go down the alleyway.
Did you wink at him
back-
when you said that?
No, I just was like, I got to go puke, and I flicked my cigarette right in his eye. So I walk down the alleyway, and I'm like, doop, doop, doop. And I put my hands up on the wall because I don't want to get puke on my shoes, right? In, professional puking position. Mm-hmm. And as I do, I'm like, ah! And then I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I'm like, what, Webster? So he's like, yo, man, can I get another cigarette? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So I give him a cigarette, right? Turn back to the wall, and then another tap. I'm like, what? He goes, I'm sorry, man. Can I have a light? I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Here you go. Light him up. I'm like, all right, I really got to puke now. So I go back to the wall,
my
and
dad's
put my
watching
hands
this.
up. I hope so too. I put my hands up on the wall, and I'm like, ah! Getting ready. And that's when I feel a hand on my dick outside of my jeans.
Oh,
and I hear, "Hey, man, you want your dick sucked?" And I was like, "No!" And I smack
Yes,
his
but
hand
not by
away.
you, sir.
Oh my god.
I mean, empirically, yes. So I smack his hand
All else being
away.
equal, yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, "No!" And he goes, as casual as can fucking be. He goes, "All right, man. I'll see you later." And just saunters out of the alleyway like nothing fucking happened.
I
And
got a great
Wait,
story.
let us-
It's just like that.
Let me finish this thing. I got 10 seconds more of this story.
It's just like that, only from the other perspective, because it was Otto.
It was
No.
It was me.
Otto used to be that black
in
kid.
blackface.
So literally I'm like, I'm standing there and now I'm sober, right? I don't need to throw up anymore because I've just been shook
do it.
awake by this hand on my dick. And I go back in the bar and I sit down and I'm like, I tell the story and they're like, "What did you do? Did you punch him?" I was like, "No."
I mean, it was a nice offer.
I mean, well, look, I was like, look, honestly, let me tell you guys, when when a 5'3" little guy comes up and grabs your dick when you're trying to puke, you won't know what to do. Let me just tell you right now, you won't know what to do. You might plan it out in your head. You won't know what to do.
One of those fight or
And,
flight things. You don't know until.
Yeah, exactly. Just sobered me up. Now I know if I was in war and somebody came into my foxhole, I'd just be like, "No!" And that would be all, and I'd just get
Is
killed.
that what happens in war? They offer to suck your dick in the foxhole? I've never been to war.
Hey,
call Howie
American
and ask.
boys, you want your dick sucked? We'll suck your dicks before we kill you. Yes, we hate the Jews, but we love the
We should
taste
title
of
this
cum.
the one where we all
At
get.
first, I thought that was a Japanese accent, but it kind of morphed into.
It went into its own. Yeah.
It could probably work either way. I mean, should I do a racist Japanese accent too?
Well,
We're getting canceled.
Let's hear Phil's
While we're
story. It's
getting canceled,
exactly the
yeah,
same.
Phil,
Yeah.
Phil,
Different.
please.
We'll get a
I
couple
was-
canceled.
I was at a show. There's a club in Baltimore called the Auto Bar, and I mean I was always there weekends, just going
the
to different
Auto Bar,
shows.
like your name,
Yeah.
is Auto
It's
Bar.
literally called the Auto Bar.
Yeah,
They
literally
name
called
it
the Auto
after
Bar.
you?
They did.
Yeah, right.
True story. And I just it was one time I was just there, and I in between sets, it was really hot. I just went to go buy water, and the only closest place. The closest place, like everyone was going to buy cigarettes, and I was like, I'm just gonna go buy some water. So I go up, and there's this woman out front. She's like this toothless, like 80-year-old looking homeless woman, and she's like, "Can you guys buy me something?" Something. I was like, "All right, I'll buy whatever you want. I'll just, you want a sandwich or water, whatever you want." And she was, "Are you serious? Are you?" And she just looked so like appreciative and grateful, and she just looked at me like heartwarming. I'm like, "Oh wow, I'm like, I guess you don't really get this a lot." And then she's just like,
And then I whipped my dick out and said, "Do you get this a lot?"
Close. And so as she's just like, oh my God, you're the nicest. I'll suck your dick. And I was like, whoa, okay, no. She had yellow eyes. I was like, no, thank you.
She was a
I'm
night
like
walker.
I was like 19 years old. I was like, no, thanks. I'm good. I'm set.
You're like, it looks like you have jaundice. And she's like, "And you don't want to get down jaundice?"
On this, John?
You want to get down this John?
Brian wrote
that's not
that joke 2 years ago. It's been waiting.
I was
Someday
waiting
I'm
for the
gonna
right
find the time.
desperately
Jaundice.
waiting. I was like, someday.
Oh my
God. Well, this has been a lot of deep dives into libertarian topics. That's what I know.
I-
That's what I like
Yeah.
about this.
This is a more philosophical episode for us.
This is the biggest deep dive Punk Rock PRL has done.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're tight.
Yep.
tight
Well, what
for
do you guys?
PRL.
Well, here. This is a good segue. Sorry, my dog's being.
Don't
a
you dare
dickhead
bring
right
up
now.
Liberty. I don't want
Oh
to.
yeah, you like to call out segues too. Nice.
He does. He's the king of it.
God,
Instead of
this
just
dog.
segueing, he actually says, "This is a segue."
That's Phil. That's Otto.
This
He's
is
like,
a segue.
"Oh, that's a great segue."
So, but we're talking about, dick sucking and jaundiced and jaundiced dick sucking.
What is the segueing to? Is what I.
So
was
I'll tell you. So what do you think? I know there's in the libertarian population, there's some people that I know are libertarian but are against the push for sex workers. Like I know Elizabeth Nolan Brown, big push like legalize sex work, right? So where do you guys fall on that? Are you for legalize it all, or are you like,
This is a
I
real
don't
question.
know?
You know their stance.
I just figured
Legalize
I'd
everything,
bring
bro.
it up because I think it'd be a fun conversation to have.
Well, I mean, I'm totally for it. I mean, I let that woman suck my dick, so I'm totally for
He doesn't want to go to jail. Yeah, I mean, whatever. 2 consenting adults, whatever they want to do. I don't care.
it. Yeah,
I mean, it should definitely be legal, obviously.
I mean,
But,
whether I would want, I don't have a daughter, but if I did, whether I'd want her to engage in it, that's another question. But
That's kind of the Dave Smith thing. He's like, yeah, he's, which I get too. He's like, I'm not going to come out and say sex work is good. Like, I just won't say that because think about if my daughter was doing it or my wife. No, I wouldn't think it was good. But of course, it should be perfectly legal. But I'm not going to promote it. And I think someone like Elizabeth Nolan Brown will agree on the legal part. And I don't know. I actually don't know her position, but some other feminist type in the liberty movement might actually say sex work is like empowering to the woman or whatever. Which I don't know if I have a strong feeling either way. I kind of agree. I don't want my wife or daughter to.
It might be for somebody. I mean, for somebody, I don't know.
I mean, if anything, I think the man's getting exploited for his money a lot more than the woman is for
I mean, look, I can't imagine taking that many dicks at once. I can imagine 2. I can't imagine
any.
Mark, walk a day in my shoes, buddy. I'm an empathetic libertarian. I'm the only empathetic libertarian I think that exists. But no, I mean,
I think
that's
Brian
what
said
I
last night. Direct quote: "I have no empathy." But anyway,
that is true. I did say that. I did say that on Bravo and Beer, who was sponsoring this podcast for the first 15 minutes before we realized it with the logo in the corner.
Yeah, but just to say, like my view on sex work, like I said, obviously should be legal. What I don't like, though, is how the LP in its current state, the LP is made of its members, and the messaging is dictated by those members eventually. Who becomes the chair and all that stuff. But it's like front and center, like a promotion. Like, yes, let's put sex work out there, number 1, which I'm not against. If you want to do it, sure. But there's way more important things that we should be talking about ahead of legalizing sex work.
Locking everyone in their house for a year.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Guys, guys, you're really not helping me with my bent box problem. I'm trying to convince them I'm for sex work, and you guys are killing me.
Wait, hold on. I apologize, Jared. Is it called bent box because they literally bend a midget prostitute in half and ship her to you? And she's like,
no, but that is a market opportunity right there.
It is. Let's not talk about the other sponsor.
No. All right, Jared, sorry, man. What you were saying?
So they're not technically a sponsor, but we did get a free auto blow.
Okay. All right, good.
What?
Auto blow, auto bar. Is everything based around auto?
Yeah, no. So you have to tell the story. You have to tell the story.
Auto,
you have to tell it. I thought you were running a different. Blow. I'll tell you guys after we record, but right now, go for it, Jared.
Okay. Bill's getting drunk.
Get it?
Yeah. So the auto blow is this automatic dick sucking device. It's kind of like a fleshlight, but it actually sucks your dick. And we
keep it in a box.
Is it pretty?
You feed it like gremlins. Nothing after midnight.
It's kind of a piece of art, I'd say.
So it's different than a fleshlight in that you do no work.
You just hold it. You don't move it. It just does. It's got multiple settings.
Wait, can we see it? Do you have it?
I don't have it. Actually, Matt has it.
Oh, God damn it!
It's in the Anarchy basement right now, unfortunately.
I gotta mail the one he's been using to Brian, and so you can try it.
We have a whole episode where we review it. You can you can find that on PRLpodcast.com.
About a year ago, we did this. We unboxed it, and it's so good.
Yeah, we did like a podcast episode just talking about it. And we had it as a title because we were just kind of making fun of it. And then
why would you make fun of something that would bring people so much joy? That's like making fun of chocolate or Christmas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was. Well, they didn't take it that way, and they said, "Hey, we'll send you a." They found the episode somehow, and they were like, "Hey, we'll send you a free one if you talk about it on your show again." And we were like, "All right,
again." Like we already just
it just came up as a topic.
Well, it was just like a 10-minute topic on the show, and it was funny, so we put it as a title, and then they ended up finding the title. I guess they were probably Googling the title, to see who was talking about it. Found our podcast.
Google word search or whatever. Google.
These
sent
clever
over the
market
trends,
these,
guys.
these clever market researchers who Google the title of their product and then see that somebody titled a podcast about it and somehow found it. Ha! The technology today.
I want that.
Amazing. Next level.
So yeah, they ended up sending us one, and like I said, we reviewed it on the podcast. So
What? Question.
It was
Question.
priceless.
it was great. It was a good episode.
You said you reviewed it on the podcast. Were these
We didn't try it
live?
out on the podcast. No,
Okay, see there. Well, then I think that's a disservice.
So there's still a
we
niche for us to
simulated
fill.
it, right? We simulated
You're-
it, right? Like we
all I
stuck
can
a
see,
finger
Jared-
in it, you know.
Jared, all I can see from either of you or Phil, look, I can see
I don't see
Hero.
Yeah.
You could easily
That's
have
why
have
Look at
tried it
Bigot.
on the podcast. Easily tried it
Well,
on
no,
the podcast.
But this
from
was
here.
back when we were. This was back when we were all in the same basement together. So,
Yeah. Like,
That makes it better or worse.
You know what? If you've ever, again, we were on the same fraternity. I will say, look for my wife, see if she's listening.
We weren't
I
one
will
of those
say that
fraternities.
I have had sex in the same room with a friend of mine. You just don't look.
Neither of us, by the
You
way.
just don't.
Not
Not
me.
none of the three of us.
Wasn't me.
You just. Well, actually, you guys
did that.
You guys don't know that I had sex in the same room as you because you were passed out.
nice.
I put the pictures
At
of the
Porkfest,
Autoblow
they
in
brought
the-
home the naked guy from the fucking fire, and I banged him right in front of Mark. Just
Nice.
passed out.
Oh, I was awake. I was wide awake. Thank you. That was fun. I was tripping my balls off. It was amazing.
What year were you guys at Porkfest? Or multiple years?
The
We
one
were there
before
for
last
2
year.
years.
Oh, 2 years. Yeah.
2019
18
was
to
last
19.
time.
Okay.
2018 and 2019.
Nah.
We had-
Yeah,
Strong
2018
feelings.
was
I think it was
2018
at
the year we
16.
did the whiskey challenge, or was that 2019?
Yeah,
That was
that was
2018.
That was 2018.
God, that was a terrible idea.
Was it? Was it 2018?
See, you guys think you're punk rock?
No, it
but-
wasn't. Yeah, it was. It was.
No, it was 20. You try to drink.
It was when he
between
broke
three
the mirror.
people.
so yeah.
Two. I didn't break it; it fell off the wall. We had two teams of three at Porkfest.
miss
We
Roger
recorded a
Peck.
podcast where the goal, and we used to do this in college, but with more than three people. It's called the Whiskey Challenge, and it's whoever can finish the handle of whiskey first. But we
Do
tried
not
to do
try
it-
this at home, people, please.
Don't try this at home. So between three people, we tried to finish it, or at least I did, during the podcast. And, what a bad
Back
idea.
when we were younger, we used to do it with two people. That was the rule.
But no, not in an hour. Well, Ackland and I would finish a handle of whiskey.
Over the course
in a
of an
night.
in a night.
Not,
Like,
we're-
yeah.
yeah,
A
not,
night.
not in the course of a podcast.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half. So that was a horrible, horrible idea. But you know what? Hey, if we all find ourselves at Porkfest again, this is a great idea with bigger teams. That's all I'm saying. So if you guys are interested, we could have teams of 5. We'll add one of you on each team of us. We have 6 Lions of Liberty total. The 3 of us, the main people, and then we've got JB, Howie, and Rico. We could add Jared on one team, Otto on the other team. We'll add on a couple more. Maybe
Divide
Johnny.
and
Maybe Johnny Adams will come in. Spangle will be there to clean up the vomit. It'd be great.
Spangle will be there to engineer, since we need someone to deal with that.
Tyler Colford says he's down.
We didn't invite you, but thank you, Tyler. I'm just kidding. We love Tyler. Tyler is maybe number one
Oh,
LOL
shit.
fan.
Click it at the same
just-
time. Are you going to click it
Yeah,
again?
you click it. You click it, Odie. By the way,
Oh.
check out Tyler Colford. I'll give him a shout out. He's a longtime
That is
supporter.
not
of
what
ours.
he looks
Great. Right, that is not what he looks like. Great guy. Yeah, no, this dude, honestly, Tyler, though, he's an
Tyler's the
amazing
man.
rapper. Amazing rapper.
Give
Yeah,
him
he's very,
a
very
plug
good
right
rapper.
now.
Yeah, I'm giving him a plug
Oh,
right
yeah,
now. He's
yeah.
fucking awesome. He has this song called Free Ross.
legit.
Hashtag
Oh, yeah.
Ross.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
about Ross Ulbricht. Awesome
All
rap.
proceeds
Great
go
beat.
to the Free Ross Fund.
Yeah, we make nothing off of it,
Nice.
man. It's so fucking awesome, and yeah, Free Ross Ulbricht, man. But he's kick ass.
How many? Well, I don't know. I don't know if anybody was expecting it, but it's just funny to me how many people were just pining for Trump to pardon Ross Ulbricht and Julian Assange and Edward Snowden because so many people were like really sure. Oh, this is going to be the moment right on his way out. Like, no, dummies. He doesn't give a fuck about this stuff.
Right. Yeah. That was never anticipation for me. I knew that was never
I
going
mean,
to happen.
call for it, sure. But I'll call for it of everybody, but no one's going to do it. If you can
No.
become the president, you're not going to be someone who's doing that.
So I'll give you guys a little preview. I got an episode coming up next week on Finding Freedom, where I interview 3
Ross
guys
Ulbricht.
who got 3 people who were in prison life for marijuana.
We all had sex in the same room together.
Who got a commutation, got clemency from Trump at the last minute.
Nice.
And what they said they've heard what happened is literally like the night before, Trump had Jared and Ivanka coming, and they could they had like a minute each to make a case for each of the clemency people that they wanted to get clemency. And he would either say yes or no.
Kids only got a minute.
Would he do it like Caesar? Would he have his thumb down or up?
Like a minute for each case, though. He'd be like, okay, no, okay, no, okay.
Jesus.
Wow, that's crazy. I you know what? Real quick, I'm kind of gonna fawn over that. I love the name of the rebranding of your podcast, Finding Freedom. That's awesome. I love it. I love all the the new sounds for everything you guys have been doing. I've been a listener for a long time.
A lot of fart sound effects.
I love it.
No, dude, I told Electric Liberty Land is forever, man. I don't need to rebrand my fucking show. My show's
not
going
rebrand.
great,
I think your intro could use an update. Just my opinion.
Fuck that. I got a sultry black lady doing the voiceover.
She's
People
neither
love it.
black
People
nor
boogie
lady,
down.
but you can keep believing that.
She's black. Are you sure she's black?
She is, I can send you her profile. I know people are like, that's an auto-tuned dude. I'm like, what? How many guys, how many transvestites have had sex with you that you thought were women, that this is the worldview that you live under?
I'm not
It
required
happens
to
more
answer
than you
that.
think. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks,
okay.
Eddie Murphy.
What kind of inquisition is this?
But yeah, man, you guys have had some great guests on lately. I've been kind of jealous. I'm like, damn. Wow.
Yeah, we're trying to blow it up, man. We eschewed having good guests for a long time out of principle, but
They
we
were
decided
hitting
to-
us up all day. They were like,
We
no.
turned him away.
I'm just talking about tonight. I was just talking about tonight's episode.
You're like Ron Paul.
Ah!
Fuck off, Ron
Guys have
Paul.
had some
But,
great
boom.
guests on tonight.
No, it's cool. Yeah, we're actually gonna have Pete Quinones. He's coming back on our podcast with Chris
Not familiar.
Kofer. Chris Kofer. Or Kofer. He doesn't like when you say Coffer. So, yeah, Kofer. That's what I told him. Coffee or something. I told him, he's like, don't call me Coffer. I'm like, all right.
Like, well,
But,
you just
yeah,
said
they're
it.
coming Yeah, so they'll be on our podcast on Sunday nights. That's when we usually record, just Sunday nights. It's just kind of a tradition. It kind of works out best for everybody. Yeah.
So you guys
That's it.
broke tradition for us. Fantastic.
That's why I said, I'm not doing anything. Friday's the night. Like I'm usually
Bill doesn't do things.
I don't. Yeah, I don't do.
What do
shit.
you guys do in life
Besides
besides this?
It's a deep question.
Hopefully nothing.
Wow.
lots of eating.
I'm gonna go Phil.
drinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say Phil, competitive eater. Right? Second in the Nathan's hot dog contest this season.
I
Saw that
compete
on
with
TV.
myself. All right.
You're great.
I do love hot dogs. I'm not gonna lie.
And we already established
I'm not a
Jared
fan.
murders hookers and then sells their body parts. I thought, right?
Right.
I thought that we had got that down.
Okay.
Turns down
I missed
easy
the first
blowjobs
15
at the
minutes,
bar.
so I don't know.
Yeah. Duh. Where you been, Mark? God, catch up.
Why
But,
not?
Mark slowly resells pieces of Hulk's dick. That's his sole source of income. He sells it about 3 inches at a time.
One
It's
wall
his veiny
panel at a time.
foreskin right there. Yeah.
The foreskin alone lasted him 6 months. He's set for life with that giant Hulk dick.
Favorite comic book character? Go.
Ooh,
Just
see,
love
I'm
Not a big
Daredevil.
comic book guy.
Good one.
When I was a kid,
Daredevil.
Daredevil was it. Yep.
Daredevil's
Wow.
badass. Come on.
Daredevil's
Yep.
a fucking.
I used to have his
pussy-ass
poster.
bitch.
I used to have his poster up on my closet door, and it was like my favorite. Like I love Daredevil. I'm just a sucker for it. I love the
You
show. I'm
too
glad
can
it's-
be blind and great.
I was gonna say.
Ah, thanks,
Well, this is
Daredevil.
it's
it
in
was
not having
impressive,
sight.
all right? Yeah.
Other superheroes, like,
my king,
okay,
all right?
I like Wolverine. I was like, oh, maybe
can't go wrong.
I have. Hold on, wait, hear me out here. Most superheroes, right? You're like, especially the mutants ones. You're like, oh, I might discover my mutant power. Like, oh, I've always had super healing. I didn't know, or super strength. What? Oh, with Daredevil, you're like, oh, I didn't realize I'm blind all of a sudden. Whoa, that's something to really strive for. What's my mutant power? Being blind.
Boy, you don't know his origin story at all, do you?
Right, I know,
I don't
dude.
care.
Did they make like a comic book version of that for Daredevil in Braille so the blind kids could read it?
That'd be funny if it did. I
Wow.
guarantee they didn't.
They probably didn't. There's Braille at drive up ATMs, but there's probably not a
Audiobooks.
Braille.
Yeah, but on audiobooks. But Mark,
I don't want to talk against the blind because I have the gene
my
for going
phone
blind
to
early,
play the
so.
audiobook on my Audible app. Also, there's no Braille on my phone I can access.
Oh, yeah, how does it work with phones? There's no braille there.
It just
Do they
yells.
have braille smartphones?
I don't know. You just yell at Siri.
It yells at you all day. Like, you
Siri.
got a message.
Siri.
Phil just posted in the Libertarian Mises Caucus group.
Hey,
Well, if Brian's story didn't get us banned making fun of the blind, it's sure to do it.
yeah, that is true.
We're making fun with them.
By the way, do you see that whole conspiracy thing that Helen Keller didn't exist? Like, it was Helen Keller's birthday.
I don't buy it. I don't buy Helen Keller.
Totally
I don't
believe
buy
it.
it. I don't buy it one bit.
I don't know the motivation, but I totally believe it. She sounds too good to be true.
Does she sound
so good?
Well, it sounds
Sounds great.
impossible. It sounds impossible what she
It
did.
does sound
Like,
impossible.
I don't.
What's
I
the
wanna
motivation?
believe it.
Deaf,
I want to
dumb.
believe it.
What's the
It
motivation
does
for the Helen
sound.
Keller
It
conspiracy?
does sound fucking impossible. I mean,
what's
how
the
would
name
you
of
learn
her
anything?
handler?
Has anyone seen her
Impossible.
grave?
And
Has
she
anyone dug
invented
up them bones?
She invented sex work too. Like, how did that all happen with the?
Yeah, she founded the Libertarian Party. What?
It was D. Frank Robinson, Murray Rothbard, and Helen.
Helen Keller hyphenated Rothbard. What? What?
That's a whole new conspiracy corner for you guys.
Rothbard actually said in Ethics of New Liberty it would be moral to let Helen Keller starve in a corner if you.
If you were
That's-
walking by and
that's
she
what
was
I read.
drowning in a pond.
That's the extended edition. Most people don't have a copy of that.
Right.
I mean, it does. I would say that the Helen Keller thing seems utterly impossible, but at the same time, when I think about this, is
Is
what
that
I
a
talk to my
conspiracy?
wife
Is
about
that a
when I'm
conspiracy
drunk. No. When
Talk to
I-
Helen
like,
Keller, but talk to your wife about Helen Keller when you're
the
drunk.
television.
She's like, not again, Brian.
From the Helen Keller's ghost.
No,
haunt me
every
all the
time you drink, you're talking about Helen Keller, Brian.
Honest to God, my wife has literally said that to me. I'm not joking. Straight shoot. She's like, oh my God, Helen Keller again. I swear to God. I've had this since I was like a teenager. I'm like, Helen Keller, like, that's just not real. Like, it's just not a thing.
Really?
Like,
You really? Oh wow! I thought you were.
it's
just
not a
making that
thing.
up.
Who's her handler? What was her name? Fuck. The
You should
woman
write a
that taught
book
her how to
about
talk.
this. Do some investigative journalism. Come on, let's.
Who's the
I
woman
wanna
that
see a
taught her
book
how
about
to
you,
write,
Phil. You can do it.
allegedly? Who's the one?
Phil, this would be a great scoop for the PRL podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk about this. You guys,
If you
Yeah.
if you do the
Where's
research
that
and
bitch-
make a
where's that bitch
good
buried?
case, we'll have you on a special episode of Lions of
We'll
Liberty.
do it. We can do
Okay.
a special,
There you go,
a
dude.
special conspiracy corner.
Yeah.
Diving into the Helen Keller conspiracy.
It would be
I'll
great
lead
because
off-
you could debate like one of the foremost like Helen Keller experts who's never been challenged on anything before.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
no one's ever
exactly. I'm
challenged
sure they
her.
have it. You're right. It would be
These guys
easy to
are sailed
win.
through. No challenges at all.
All right,
Not
it rests
anymore.
on one question. She was deaf and blind. How? And he's like, well, no one's ever asked me that before.
all right, and here's the one thing I always fall back on. How do you teach someone who's deaf, blind, dumb? Like, how do you teach them the word the? How do you explain the word the to them? How many times?
I don't. How many times do you have to hit them?
If you could see inside my brain, it would be that the scene from Beautiful Mind with all the numbers in front of his face. That I'm blown away by this question.
But apparently that bitch wrote the several hundred times in her books. So
No
how
way.
does she write the?
There's no fucking way. Well, I guess. Well, look, you can teach somebody. I was like,
Shane gets it because they're the same person.
my wife got Helen
Same
Keller.
sounding
They are. They're both myths.
Isn't the story that she learned by feel or something?
Yeah. How do you feel the word
Wait.
the?
Oh my God! It got even better. Hold on. Shane
Yeah,
says
you
the
can
funniest
spell it
part
out,
is
right?
his wife revealed that she thought she got Helen Keller and Amelia Earhart confused because they never found Helen Keller's body.
Little fact about Shane Kiss: he's the latest patron of the Second Print Comics podcast. Find more at
Nobody
secondprintcomics.com.
cares.
Wait, didn't they
Who?
actually find
does.
Amelia Earhart's body recently?
No,
Allegedly.
they found a
Every few
picture
years.
of her. A picture of her. They say in the background. I examined that picture. You know what it looks like?
What?
Some chick.
Helen Keller.
Did you J.O.? Did you
Helen
J-
Keller.
Wait. Did you J.O. to it?
Wow.
No, I would have gotten my dick sucked by a machine over it if anybody would have shared the blowjob machines that they've clearly been sent from people.
We should.
And they quote unquote reviewed without
we
actually
should-
getting their dick sucked
You
by
can't
it.
steal
send
my
it to Brian.
initials for the vulgarity of that.
We're gonna start sending it around to all the Liberty pods.
Yeah.
Did you JO
It'll
her?
make its round.
Oh, but did I bore her to
its
death? No.
I'm now at the point where, like, now I think anything I heard about as a kid as a fact has got to be a conspiracy.
It's
It's
just
got to
all
be
lie.
not real.
It's all
Like,
a lie.
Well, look,
Everything
let me.
is, right?
I agree with you guys that it's literally it's insane. The fact that she would somehow
What's the motive? What's the motive?
well, it doesn't make any sense that she would learn anything, and I don't know.
What?
I don't
Hold on.
well,
Because it took up so much time for them to teach you about Helen Keller in school, they didn't have to teach about real stuff.
No.
So just
But
teach
why?
about Helen
But why
Keller.
teach it in
Uh,
the first place
How,
is the question.
how to write a
But let me
check
offer
or
this.
Helen Keller?
Yeah.
I didn't
Also-
learn about banking or taxes, but I learned about Helen Keller.
Let me give you a current life
Ian
example as
Sullivan.
to why Helen Keller. Why Helen Keller? Because the disabilities and deaf people and blind. She was a perfect combination of deaf and blind, like the unions, the deaf union, the blind union, the mute union. Like we got it all in one package here. We're gonna push this shit, and it's just like the BLM riots were like these were 99% non-violent. Well, Helen Keller was 99%.
When was Helen Keller? The early 1900s?
Something like that.
Okay.
Is there
Don't make me
footage of
Google
her?
this.
Are there pictures of her?
Yes, there is. There's like video.
There's
yeah.
a picture of her like touching Truman's face or something, and he's probably like,
She,
"Get her away from me."
He's like, the shit I go through for this conspiracy. I don't even know
But
why. I'm
okay,
doing this.
so Ann Sullivan is the name of the lying bitch who says that she got her to write all this stuff.
Whoa,
She's
let's
a-
just got
she's
kicked
a
up a
liar.
notch.
Wait,
She's
she
a
got her to
liar.
what?
Ann Sullivan's the one who taught her how
In
to
fairness,
talk.
she could be a
and-
liar and a nice person.
So
Okay,
it says
all right.
in quick Google research. I don't know if this is true, but the internet's normally right. It says that she lost her vision and ability to hear at the age of 19 months. She could have learned how
This
to
is
talk a
Helen-
little bit before then, maybe.
This is from HelenKellerHoax.biz.
How did you lose
Yeah.
both at once? Like, what are the odds of that? How did
An
you-
illness, Mark. Don't ask questions. An illness.
Shaking.
Ah. And this has never been repeated again in the history of the universe, where people
Never.
lie about these.
Well, look, the only thing I'll say about here's the only counterpoint I'll make to this is like, okay, I started to say this before, the television, right? I think about this. My baby's screaming in the next room.
Tell your baby
Um,
if she doesn't be
tell
quiet.
my
When she
baby
hits
to shut
19
up.
months, something horrible.
I like
Teach
that
her the
threat.
word the. Teach
Do you
her
want to be
now.
Helen Keller? Do you want to be Logan McWilliams Keller? So,
Why would you add Keller to her name?
well, if we're gonna make her into that, I might as well add on the hyphenation.
Dash Keller.
Sad Dash Keller. So that should be the hashtag. Hashtag Dash Keller. So here's the thing: is the television. I think of the television, right? In what world? How would you ever? You're like, okay, there's this thing, right? So we have this thing. It records this crap on film, and then sends it through the air. And there's the thing over there. This thing, yeah, that gets it, and it puts it together, and bam, there's your TV and your pictures. That
Willy
to me
Wonka
is so
style,
fucking
man.
beyond. Yeah, dude, it's so.
Yeah, you're getting into the
beyond
dim age stuff with Vin Armani.
comprehension.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
no,
magic.
I could. No, it is magic. Well, here's the point, though. I could research it and learn how to do it easily. Mark,
Easily.
that's what
You
that's
could
what
do it tomorrow, I'm sure, by yourself.
That's what Mark went to
it to you
college
tomorrow.
for, and I guarantee he can't tell you how it's done. But my point is, when you're the first person to think
Equations
about
and
that,
numbers.
I think about that. I'm like, how the fuck did anybody ever come up with that? Ever in a million goddamn years? So maybe Helen Keller was the Stephen Hawking of her time, but unlike Hawking, she couldn't
Yeah.
bee-boo bop
Let's
on a
not go-
Helen
calculator.
Keller is the Stephen Hawking of blind, deaf.
Stephen
and dumb
Hawking
people.
is bullshit too. That's not.
Oh yeah, that guy's not real at all.
No,
dude.
that
That's
disease
total
that he,
bullshit.
did he die?
Hey,
in-
what
biggest
did he
bullshit
discover? A bunch of bullshit we can't prove in space? Thanks for nothing, Stephen.
The thing with Stephen Hawking that makes no sense. So he became in that state from ALS,
right.
which ALS normally kills people, but he somehow
Yeah.
just
Wait,
survived.
like
Did
the
he
only
win?
one
Did
to
he win
survive.
the American League series? God, I didn't realize he was such an athlete. That's amazing.
Is he Lou Gehrig?
It was
batted-
him,
he
guy.
batted
Oh my
330,
God.
30
Lou Gehrig
home runs.
Is Stephen Hawking?
100 RBIs.
That is the conspiracy.
We gotta dump ice water on our heads to help. Or something.
Stephen Hawking once threw a shutout, 9 innings, hit 3 home runs.
High on
then
LSD.
And then discovered that.
How did we
That's
get
the most
here?
amazing story ever. Doc Gooden, Ellis.
Doc Ellis, yeah.
Right.
Doc Ellis? Doc Gooden?
Yeah,
Some
Doc
doc,
Ellis.
Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis.
It's
whatever.
Doc Ellis.
He was a doctor. That's all I know is
He
he
was
got a
a doctor of
PhD
acid.
in baseball.
Well, after he did it, that's when they said, "All right, we can put the doctor in front of you."
Oh yeah, it wasn't Doc Gooden.
You've earned your doctorship, sir.
Oh, that's good. That's such a great story.
That's amazing.
Man, I don't even know how we
Gives me
got
hope
here,
for
but
everybody.
right.
Anytime I don't feel hope, I just think about Doc Gooden or Doc Ellis or somebody throwing a shutout.
Or
on
Doc
acid.
Ock, you know.
Doc Ock, yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Doc Gooden was a different
Doc Holliday.
drug, but, yeah.
Different drug experience.
I think of every Doc I've ever known.
Every doc in the universe.
Yeah. Who's got the docs?
Who's got the
So
him
where
out.
do we go from here? Where
We go-
do we go?
Well, the
We go
pre-show's
nowhere.
been fun. Should we start the show? Should we start
Yeah,
the
so
let's
now
start.
that we've
Wait,
warmed
we've been
everybody up.
recording?
Oh, I forgot to hit record.
Wait,
guys.
live? Are people watching this? This is just us, right?
You're a bunch of suckers if you are. I don't know.
We're
I mean,
live.
I
It's
love
not
you,
live.
but yeah.
Bunch
It's
of
live.
clowns.
Bill's been saying the N-word an awful lot for a live show.
My favorite
Well,
part.
I am a part of the Mises Caucus, so I am a hate monger.
known racist.
Let's talk about
Oh
Doc.
yeah, I was gonna ask you if you guys were gonna go. Well, you're in Baltimore. You're not gonna come out here. There's a California Mises Caucus where Hotep Jesus
It's
is
going to
supposed
deny the
Oh.
Holocaust live on stage. I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
Oh my
can't
God.
wait either.
Look,
He's a
people
Holocaust
just-
setting-
all he's done is ask
Ugh.
you questions, okay?
Okay, how
I'm actually gonna get him
great
on
is
the
it
show and
gonna
ask
be?
him about that. Legit.
I look. How great is it gonna be when I go to this event and I'm planning on going using Lions Cash, all in the Lions credit card, and I tell Hotep Jesus my alley story.
About Helen Keller.
alley
Maybe
story.
Did Helen
And the alley.
Keller?
You can
Maybe
only
it was
use
Helen
Keller.
Lions
Yeah.
Cash if you interview Hotep Jesus. That's the catch.
Oh, I guarantee I'll fucking interview him there. Thaddeus Russell's going to be there too, but Marc already fucking got his load in his mouth, so why do I want to go back to that?
It's not how I recall it going, but all right.
I seen it.
I seen it. Through the
Thought we
window
just
of
had a
that
nice
house.
chat.
Yeah, but so I'm also like a state coordinator in Maryland for the Mises Caucus. So Michael Heiss, like I met him on Punk Rock Libertarians. He came down.
Did you
to
hide all the
Anarchy
Nazi
Basement.
flags behind you, or did you
I
put them under
did.
the bed?
I did.
Michael
you actually
Heiss
met
brought
him?
his own though. He had a handkerchief that he took out and put it up.
Wait, you met him for the first time on that show? On our show?
Yeah, first time on our show. Yeah,
And
he
that's
came
what
down.
caused you to join?
Well, he literally, it was so funny because he was like, I was like, dude, man, I share the same vision. This was like 2017. And I was like, man, I share the same vision. He was like, well,
What
we're
a
trying to get stuff
nerd.
started. We're trying to stare. Yeah.
And
well,
you touch tips.
Yeah, we did.
Hey,
Totally
hey, I share your vision. Thanks, guy. That's what I would have said to you. All right.
But anyway,
Cool,
so
bro.
the best part of the
Yeah,
story.
bye.
He straight up asked. He was like, "Hey man, we're trying to get stuff started in Maryland. You want to start up in the Mises Caucus in Maryland?" I'm like, "Sure." I was like, "I have no clue what I'm doing." He's like, "Me neither." I'm like, "All right, cool, sold me." You know? And
I'm
then,
actually coincidentally I'm talking to him tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific.
oh, nice.
Specific.
About
Yeah.
he's trying, it's like since we had Ruben on, and I've got his cell number. I'll post it. If you join our Patreon, I'll give you Dave Rubin's cell number. You can send him all sorts of horrible texts.
Dick pics galore.
Dick pics. Well,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gay. Vagina
Send him
pics.
vagina pics.
Yeah.
Really want to offend him. Send him a picture. of your
Write
wife's
Punk
vagina.
Rock Libertarians on your vagina lips and send it to Dave Rubin. So, no, but I think people, a lot of libertarians shit on Dave Rubin. I get it,
Really?
but
It's a lot of
do.
libertarians shitting on Dave Rubin?
A lot.
I did see a
I don't
very
know.
funny video posted by Chris Spangle that I did think was pretty fucking funny about Dave Rubin. It was like it was just like every Dave Rubin episode ever, and he's just like, man, I should just find it instead of trying to describe it because that's going to go horribly. So continue.
What are we going to
talking.
screen share it? My Chrome's not set
Oh,
up for
can we do that on StreamYard? He's
Yeah,
basically
you
just like
Tabs.
It's not
Yes,
going
he
to
can.
work. It's
the
not gonna
left
work.
is regressive. Hello, Sam Harris. Tell me why the left. It's way funnier if you watch the video than if you.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm sure it is. But I will say I like Dave Rubin. I think here's the thing though. And
Of
Michael
course,
Heiss
you like him. He tapped you on the shoulder and offered you a BJ the other night. right? Or am I mixing up story?
Not even in an alleyway. He did have an afro though, which is weird. It doesn't look like it on video, but no. Ruben is a nice guy, and also though, here's the thing: it's like I get, it's the libertarian purity test shit is so fucking annoying, and that's where people like he pisses people off because he's not pure libertarian. He never fucking said he was, number one.
That's good.
But
We need more people like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You need a broader base. He is talking shit that we agree with 85% of. So shut the fuck up. We are a third party. We are an afterthought.
I'll disagree
to
with
the
him on those
majority
things,
of people.
but don't say fuck. Fuck this guy.
Exactly. If we could get him involved, if we could get him engaged, which is I'm sure what Michael wants to talk to me about. I know for a fact it is. I'm happy to help, man. I'm happy to help. Like, let's get him involved, man. Get him excited. He has a huge fucking platform. He has a platform that
Ryan's at
dwarfs
just the
any
right
of
level
us.
of drunk for him. He's just in the perfect spot right now.
He hasn't started slurring his words yet.
Yeah, just before
coming.
that.
It's
That's
coming
coming soon.
See it.
You see the whites around his eye, though. That's.
I have to
close.
make a lot of effort to do that. I squint too much. Me and Odie both have fucking old man with child, bags under our eyes, heavy eyelids.
Yeah, me
squints.
too. I got it. I
It's
got
called
it.
hooded eyes.
Oh, is that why I thought you were Asian?
Yes.
Hooded eyes.
Wait, you're not?
The old.
He's totally got
What
some
else is
Asian in him.
hooded? What else is hooded?
Oh, are we getting the foreskin talk
dick.
again?
Yeah.
I might be Asian. I don't know.
No, I was talking about
Odie,
his,
you do look a little
I could
weird.
be a Native
Asian.
American for all I
bonfires.
know. Maybe I'm related to Elizabeth Warren.
I'm actually 90% sure that Odie is some sort of albino Chinese. I'm not even kidding.
It's possible.
Look at him.
Take it as a compliment.
Possible.
Oh boy.
Like someone,
foreskin-
you got some Genghis Khan up in your bloodline somewhere, my friend.
I hope so.
I love not talking about libertarian shit. It's awesome.
It's the best part. It's the best part of
You
libertarian
should watch our
podcast.
podcast. Yeah.
I change the show to not Lions of everything but liberty. That's what I want to change it to.
Well, that's the thing is it's like, I was saying this somewhere. I think I was on the other show. You need more people that are just like enjoyable, entertaining, not autistic.
This is a good
libertarians.
point here. We got to talk about this. That's a great point. I agree with that 100%.
Oh, fucking A, right.
fuck
Yeah,
Shapiro.
thank you.
Close.
Neocon.
Shapiro's here won't do anything for us.
Might be
That's
wrong. He's
Jared's
just
cousin.
putting it. Might be wrong. He's got to
That's what I
have
should
some
say
sort
for
of
people that are
goddamn
listening to this
podcast
later.
or something.
He is
We'll
a
listen to
brother.
this later. What
but
it says, put up on screen. I'd much rather libertarians have Ruben's ear than Shapiro's ear. Not literally their ears. Well, maybe I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know. Are we
Jared's
collecting
cousin
ears
does
now?
Like
probably
they
have
used
better
to
ears
take-
than Shapiro.
Like they
That's
used
what
to
the
take
Jews
in
do.
the Korean
They take
War. It's
people's
horrible.
ears, yeah.
Horrible.
Jared.
yeah.
So people who are listening, Jared
Like
is
our
a part of the
Monroes.
tribe. He is a part of the tribe. So we have
Who's
to talk
Jared?
to him.
Yeah,
I
who
don't
is
know.
that guy?
Yeah.
Who's that
I
guy?
too am part of the tribe, which is why I hit it off so well with Ben Stein.
My guess.
Right.
My guess is. Well, I don't think. I only know Jareds that are Jewish.
yeah, it's a
pretty
Jared.
common.
Oh no! I take that back. We had a
Oh,
buddy
Jared
named Jared in.
It's not Jared.
Ja-
It's not Jared.
Well, you said his full name. I wasn't going to do that.
Actually, the only
Yeah, we
other
had a
Jared
buddy in
I
high
ever
school,
met is
or,
not
I
Jared.
assume he's not alive anymore, so I figured it was fine. Is that not true?
I assume you were probably right, but I will say, yeah, Jared. He was from Kentucky.
He slept at my parents' house once.
Kentucky?
He was
There's
from
no Jews in
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Well, yeah, clearly not.
We went
Rand
to
Paul has seen to that.
oh, I can't even-
Yes. Rand Paul's.
But getting back to the main point, yes, having
a
Dave Rubin's ear is a good thing. That's what I'm saying. That is a way better fucking ear to have. He has a huge platform. I know. Look, Shapiro's fine in his specific lane, but he sucks
His
dick
lane of
in a lot of the shit.
dunking on like pink-haired college chicks. that don't know
Exactly.
anything about
Yeah.
it.
I mean, Ben
Exactly.
Shapiro's good for like 5 years ago, you know?
He's
Now
not.
it's like,
He's
all right.
not anti-war enough. He's insanely
Enough. He's not anti-war, period.
Israel.
Yeah, he's
at all.
Yeah, exactly. He's not
Ben
anti-war.
Shapiro
period.
is
He's super,
Rudy
super
Giuliani.
Zionist Israel
They're the same
supporting.
person.
Is
Ben
who?
Shapiro was formed from the juice that leaked out of Rudy Giuliani's skin.
his hair
Back at the
dye.
time.
It's like the
That's
fucking
all.
Terminator. It's like Terminator 2, the T-1000.
The
He
black
just
goo
Shapiro
from
up.
the X-Files.
He's like Rudy Giuliani's arguing with Ron Paul. He's like, no, we were right to go in. We had to go in to bomb those people, and then you see the drippings form. And it becomes Ben Shapiro, and he's like, yes, we're right. We have to defend Israel at all costs. Israel is America at all costs. No, that didn't
Ben
go over as
Shapiro's
well
the
as I
only
thought it
podcast
would.
that
That's
talks
fine.
faster than me.
That is true.
I think you got him beat, Mark. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's really
Depends.
fast. Even I'm like, well, I don't listen to him, so I don't know. I don't do anything.
Me neither, really. So
I've only seen Ben Shapiro in like those stupid videos that are like Ben Shapiro owns 14-year-old girl. Like,
well, I went to Freedom Fest and I saw Ben Shapiro debate Cenk
Unger.
We know you're talking about.
Cenk Unger, whatever
We know what you
CENK, whatever the fuck guy is. He debated him, and I can't remember what the topic was. I live streamed it for a little bit and wrote about it for Lions of Liberty and talked about it. But Ben Shapiro destroyed him, and it was fucking embarrassing. So basically, Cenk Unger is the equivalent of a 19-year-old girl.
Well, yeah, that guy's an idiot.
It was fucking terrible. And the Young Turks, it's good. Dave Rubin, who left the Young Turks,
it's amazing he
to
used
his
to be
great
a Young
credit.
Turk. How is that the same person?
Wait, Dave Rubin was with the Young Turks?
That's where he came
Dave
from.
Rubin used to be a hyper lefty, and then he
I knew he was a hyper lefty. I didn't know he
non-moron because he actually listens to facts and figures. My wife's getting mad at me. I got to wrap it up.
Nope.
True story, by the way, because I have a baby.
She's watching the live stream and she saw that you're going to change your daughter's name to Logan McWilliams.
You talked about
this is an inappropriate time for your wife to come in and say, Brian, you got to start wearing a condom when you're having sex with other women. I mean,
I'm not going to believe it until she bursts into the room.
Wait, your wife is a part of the
that.
Helen Keller conspiracy? Is that what you're telling me?
God,
My wife,
she's one of these propagators. One of these.
I already told you
He's a
I'm
conspirator.
hyphenating my daughter's last name to Keller.
God damn it.
I got to leave in 10 minutes. You guys feel free to continue. I
10
think
minutes sounds
probably 90%.
I got to eat. I haven't had dinner yet. So I
gotta
got
take
to
a-
It sounds like just enough time to get to the bottom of the Helen Keller thing. So let's focus on that.
All right. Let's dig in.
All right.
Let's dig in.
So this
Do
bitch
it.
is born totally fine. And on the same day, 19 months in, she loses her sight and her.
Let's pull up this
her
Wikipedia.
Her sight and her hearing
Oh,
at
good.
the same time, without explanation that I don't bother to look up.
What do you think
Right.
her position towards foreign policy was, though?
Oh, definitely a neocon. That's what this is all about.
Mhm.
Wait, was she?
Were neocons?
Helen, should we invade Iraq? No!
She throws a fork at you.
They've
Helen,
gone back and they've done
Throw a
The
fork in the
research.
map where we should bomb.
They've
Helen,
gone back,
is
they've done the
Iran-
research, the science, and it turns out if Helen Keller was wearing a mask, never would have lost her sight. And
That's why we have to mask up.
You know what?
every winter
Helen
just so
Keller
we
would
don't
have
turn
never
into
been able to
colors.
learn how to speak with masks because she would never be able to feel people's faces and their mouth movements. It just would have been cloth.
Yeah.
She would have been like, forever.
I'm so ready to burn masks and never freaking see these goddamn things.
I hate
again.
him so much.
I don't know what
Same
direction you were
here.
going with the burning, but yeah, masks.
Well, I
We're
was
a little sensitive to burning in this corner.
That
had
and
it-
deaf people.
well. They're next.
All right.
They'll
This has
never
been the
hear it
last
coming.
Ever episode of Lions of Liberty.
And
Punk Rock
live, is it?
Libertarians.
No?
Yeah, it's live. There's no editing. There's no editing
I
here.
thought this was more like a get to know each other thing. Is this is the
Yeah.
This is
And
a
it quickly became a Klan rally. But only against the deaf.
This is the episode where we figure out who
we're
our
the
true fans
KKD.
are. Yes.
Yeah.
The Ku
This is
Klux
the one where we
Deaf
make
Deaf.
sure none of these cancel culture assholes no longer follow our show. Because I'm sick of
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yep.
I just can't take it
Exactly.
anymore.
Were they following your show?
Yeah, a few actually.
I don't know. Well, we used to be able to buy all
Well-
the bots, but
One. I don't want to go there. He's still a Patreon. He's still a patron. And so I'm not going to argue it.
Well,
Right,
let's,
yeah,
let's,
that's fair.
let's kind of bring that topic up.
You
of
can
just
buy your silence.
of
Yeah,
cancel
I can be
culture
bought
of
for as little as $5 a month. You can buy my silence at patreon.com/Lions of
you
Liberty.
used to be able to buy us at $2 a month. We got rid of that
Yeah,
level.
Jared.
Though. We have
Jared,
standard.
we needed.
We've-
We're at $1.
We've got a
We need to get rid of
$1.
that.
We've got a $1.
We
Fuck
can't.
it.
We have
Let's go to
Bravo
$5.
and Beer, the
Too many
podcast that
ne'er-do-wells
sponsored
that
the
level.
early part of this show. We have a $1 Patreon level, but we send you fish assholes. If you listen to our last show, we talk all about it.
Nice.
we actually lose
Just-
money on that. But.
Phil, how many fish assholes do you have on
Fish
tap?
assholes are shockingly expensive. I don't know why we thought they would be cheap.
They're
They're
delicious,
not
though.
cheap.
They're absolutely delicious. But
In a little bit of olive
Phil
oil,
eats ass
garlic.
of fishes.
Phil
I'm
looks like he eats
Catholic,
a
so
lot of
tomorrow.
things.
Okay, that was uncomfortable. All right. Oh, real quick, you want to hear a funny? You want to hear a funny? I got called fat joke.
Yes.
So-
Well,
I
it's
was
the first.
at-
Well, it's
this
late
is-
in the show, but it's up time for you to be funny.
Real quick,
Let's do
real
it.
quick. Okay, wow. Now you're just being hateful. That's
I am.
okay.
I'm drunk now. I'm just being a dick. I'm being a real dick.
Oh my
Couldn't
god!
tell.
Come on,
I'm
let's
gonna
go.
go take a piss because I got to pee so bad.
No, I just-
What? We have
I
5
seen-
minutes left of the show. Just hold it.
Just go in your pants.
Just
All
hold
right.
it.
Come on.
We have
All right,
5
all right,
minutes
all
left. Hold it.
All right,
Phil,
all
sorry.
right,
All right,
go,
Phil,
go.
come on.
Garrett, I've waited 5 years to be insulted by Brian. Okay,
Okay.
So just let me
Okay.
let me tell this story. So
All right.
okay, I was at the Ron Paul event. He spoke in Washington in 2019. It was right on shit. I don't know. It was in August, and we were sitting at this tables. You guys know Kyle Wagner? Do you guys know everyone's favorite minarchist?
I've met him.
Everyone's favorite
Okay,
status.
So Kyle Wagner
Yeah,
is a good friend
he's
of
a
the
good
Punk
dude.
Rock Libertarians.
He's
And,
a good guy.
He's been on a million
he's-
times.
Yeah, he's been on our show. He's a big regular. So we went to the Ron Paul event in Northern Virginia. We went down there. We sat at this table. We was one of the last tables that was available. We sat down, and eventually all these people started filling in to our table. And this one guy, and I had to listen back. I listened back to the podcast after it happened just to get the story straight. So
And
we
because
were
you're
sitting
blacked
down.
out during it, I'm guessing.
A little, not really, but so this guy so he's sitting there, and he's an old guy. He's got this gold ribbon on his. Everyone had a badge, saying who you were. And,
Were you like, do you have super autism? What is that?
right? And so he's sitting down, and
He's
so
got
Luke,
6 puzzle pieces on his collar.
Luke Radowski of We Are Change. You guys know Luke Radowski? He sat down next to us. We Are Change. He's been on Tim Dillon's podcast.
He's on Tim Pool's podcast every day.
Tim Pool, sorry, Tim Pool. Yeah, every day. Yeah.
I don't
And,
listen to those podcasts. I'm
Well,
busy.
you should. You should. So he sits down, and everyone just starts filling in, and all these they all have gold badges on their fucking tag or tags on their badge. And so anyway, so they bring around our food. It was right after the speaker talk, and so she brings down this rolls, and this guy turns back to me. He goes, "I think you should probably hold off on those rolls." And I was like, "Oh, cool.
What?
Thanks for calling me fat. I never know you. Whatever."
Wow.
That's not offensive whatsoever.
I mean, he's right,
Cool.
but that's beside the point. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you. And he goes, and then it was all of a sudden and I'm like, who the fuck is? I'm trying to calm. Like, did this guy just really just say this to me? And he turns back around. And he goes, "I'm sorry, I kid. I say, he's like, I own a few gyms. That's why I say that." And so
Are
of course
you
they
fucking kidding me?
I own a
bring-
few gyms. Is that
So
what
they
he-
bring the roll. Yeah. So he's like, so he brings.
Oh wait, I remember this story. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, you remember now. So the waitress brings around everyone's salad, and I'm like, I don't eat salad, clearly. And I'm like, but I'm not gonna fucking not eat salad in front of this guy. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna eat the
You're like,
salad.
I'll take 3, ma'am.
You're leaning into me I
love
So
It's like,
I'm
we're-
eating
there's
this
not enough
salad.
fruit on this salad.
So I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And we all get to
And it was
introducing
Ron
ourselves.
Paul.
Right. And so
He took off his mask.
I used to play for the Houston Astros.
so I'm sitting there looking. So everyone's kind of turns in because we're eating our salads, and I get everyone's name. There's this judge. He's from fucking New Orleans. He flew in with Ron Paul on his private plane. I'm like, oh,
Was
shit.
it Judge
And then-
Napolitano?
No, it was not. But it would have been funnier shit if it was. So then I find out this guy. I Google his name. It's the fucking owner of Curves Gyms, the women's gyms.
Didn't they all go out of business? Curves? I think they did.
Hopefully they did, because fuck that guy.
Well, you know why? You know why they went out of business? Because women be shopping.
So I got called fat by the owner of Women's Curves Gym at a Ron Paul event. It was
I will say that's
Quite a moment.
doubly hurtful. That's doubly
It was.
hurtful. If
It
it was
hurt.
like the owner of a CrossFit gym, and the creator of
Marc's event,
CrossFit called me fat, you'd be like, okay, well that guy's insanely ripped. But this guy's used to seeing fat women work out.
he's this old guy. He's so old, just normal looking dude. I would have never guessed it. But yeah,
Is he
he's the CEO and founder of Curves Gyms. I forget
What's
his name.
the,
I don't want to know his
dude-
name. Fuck him.
That's so funny. What's the guy that Jack LaLanne? It's like Jack LaLanne talking to you.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. But I have been known to break. I broke 2 chairs in Anarchy Basement. And we're just sitting there doing a podcast, just recording. I'm sitting there and just there's
We had to
audio.
buy all new chairs that could support
We did.
a certain level
did.
of weight, a certain amount of weight.
You know what?
guys?
I'm obviously a fit gentleman, but I have no hatred for the fatties outside of pornography. No fatty porn for me, thank you. But
Agreed.
in general, hey, girth is good for a lot of things. I will say that.
Not for my heart. And anyway,
Not for his
Well,
well-being.
yes.
That's where Mark's Hulk Dick Company comes in. Cleans
Exactly.
out your arteries, strengthens your heart, girths you up.
HulkDicks.com. Don't forget today's episode is sponsored by HulkDicks.com. Replace your dick with a piece of the Hulk's. Thank you.
PRL Girth promo code. PRL Girth.
Yes.
Hear
Use
more
the
about
code
it on our
PRL.
podcast, Hulk Dicks.
Right.
I was trying to do
Just
it, Brian, there, and then Bravo Beer thing.
It's still good. It was pretty good. It's pretty
Okay,
good.
thanks.
All right, I gotta go. I got a wife to placate
Well,
and a baby
since we're all
to
here-
make sure she's not deaf.
Why don't we at least try to sign off?
Sure.
All right, we'll give it a
Why would
shot.
we do that?
The lion style sign off. Do you think we
Always
wait.
stay
You
plugged
guys have a
in.
sign off?
Wait a minute.
Let's
Mark
ask.
never asked me if
Yeah,
I was
we
ready
did.
to roar. You never asked me if I was ready to roar. I've been waiting
Because
years.
I got here so frantically late.
Why
I know.
are you waiting years for that? I hate that so much. God, I fucking hate that. Every show I fucking hate it.
Because Brian hates everything about that, and
So
You guys
fucking
are-
annoying. It
you
makes
guys
me
are
so
evidence
mad every show.
of how catchy it is. Well, see, Brian,
Right.
it's the kind of
Well,
stuff.
do it
first of all,
now. Do
are you
it now, then.
Are you guys ready
hey,
to roar? Were you ready to roar for the last 2 hours about Helen Keller?
Yes.
I just wanted to meow.
That's
I
you
just wanted
waited.
to meow.
You waited 5 years for that.
That was the most
God.
anticlimactic thing ever. I love it. This fucking
So
love this
punk
podcast.
rock.
I think we need
This
to
is
do
amazing.
a
Love
combo
it.
conspiracy corner show with you guys behind the paywall. Deep dive
Do
into
it.
Helen Keller.
If you
Let's
thought
do
this, if you thought this was fucking controversial, wait till we get behind the
Oh.
payroll.
Oh yeah.
I will say
We
that this
denied
was a
Helen
lot of.
Keller's existence on this public show. So
This
wait
was a lot of fun.
see the one
I
you
think
pay
we should
for.
do these like
Every
quarterly or
day.
something.
Agreed. Let's
Every
do it.
day.
Like
Let's do
a
it.
quarterly
Every night.
crossover would be fun.
I
This
bet
was-
if we
this
all
was-
quit our jobs
you know-
and did this daily, we could make enough money. That's how good we are. I did.
Agreed.
I have
But this,
evidence
like
that.
sometimes you never know how it's going to react. But this was like fucking seamless fun. So
Oh, yeah.
It was good times.
That was
It was
fun.
good times.
All right.
Sometime
So,
we'll do
all
this
right,
in
what are we
person.
doing a sign off? Do you guys have a sign off you want to do?
I mean, we have one. We can do
we
it. Or
do.
we cannot do
I
it.
figure you guys have the Bill and Ted thing, like wild stallions. I figured that
My
was
wife
probably.
just saw that movie for the first time last week
Oh my
Well,
God,
she's
it's
fucking
amazing.
welcome.
and loved it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
it's amazing.
amazing.
Obviously, because I would have
The
had
new
to
one's actually
watch it
also
otherwise.
good. I was surprised how much I liked it.
Yeah, I want to see it. But anyway,
good.
that'll be our next podcast where we do a
All right,
live watch.
PRL, take us out your way, and then Mark can you know.
All right. Let's do this. So
Do it, Phil.
until next time,
Live
I'm,
long.
you know, fuck this. Fuck it. I'm gonna add my own new sign. All right.
Okay.
Peace be with you all. Until next time, live free.
And
Or
namaste.
die.
All right. So let's do it your way now.
What's
When
my
in
way?
Rome.
Oh yeah. Until next time, live long.
And live free. It's always
a conductor.
awkward and weird.
I like how we get
it's
so
That's
always
what's fun about
dragged
it,
out.
silly.
Awful.
I've waited so many years for this. Thank you guys.
I gotta go. I wish we could do an after show, but I
All
can't. All right, bye.
See you guys in 5 years.
Peace. We'll see you guys.
See you guys.
Peace out.
Later.